Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you are ready. This has been incredibly requested. My 100% blind reaction to the complete history, lore, storyline, and timeline of Poppy Playtime. Poppy Playtime is a horror game that absolutely took the world by storm. There are freaking Poppy Playtime plushies all over the place. And guys, apparently it gets even crazier as this story keeps going. So, MatPat made a video on this, and in honor of MatPat leaving, we are covering this. As you know, I, the great Lord Nuxanor, am here to cover everything. I will cover the dark lore in every video game ever made, okay? We are doing this. We are going down this rabbit hole. This was requested on the last one. I deep dived into Minecraft, esoteric, random lore shit. Drop me what you want me to deep dive into for the next one. Let's see what we got.
It's been 2 years since Poppy Playtime Chapter 1 released and took the internet by storm. It was everywhere.
Didn't I literally say took the internet by storm? I literally used those same exact words. I'm not beating the pre-watch allegations, am I?
Where? And so understandably, Chapter...
Sorry, I can't play horror games. They're just so boring to me. I'm sorry. It's a flaw that I have. I've seen scarier stuff on Twitter than anything horror games can cook up.
Chapter 2 was immediately put into production. 7 months later, there it was. Again, it was a huge success, so naturally Chapter 3 is...
Dude, it is everywhere. Dude, I'm gonna make this comment purely for my audience that is out here to cancel me. Listen, I am probably the most inclusive streamer of all time. Not only do I love women. Yeah, that's about where my inclusivity ends. Not only do I love... okay, but I am inclusive to everyone. If you love my content, thank you. Thank you for subscribing and supporting me. If you hate my content and want to cancel me on Twitter, you have a place in my heart as well. There is so much Poppy Playtime fucking Rule 34. It's everywhere. You cannot get away from it. I'm just saying this so the people on Twitter can have something to eat today. I need them to take this out of context to get me canceled because I'm afraid they're not going to be able to pay their Twitter Blue rent.
His development was underway, and so we waited and waited and waited. 18 months.
Oh my God.
And still we're waiting. That doesn't mean Mob Games
Dude, we waited for Has-Been Hotel for 4 years.
has left us completely empty-handed. They've been giving us little tidbits of lore in all kinds of strange places. But with all these little breadcrumbs of lore being dropped over such a long period, it can be hard to keep track of what we do and don't officially know.
All right, I am so ready. Not only do I love women, but... No, that's not what I said!
Porn is a conspiracy by the shadow government, boss.
I believe you.
That is, until today. Today I'm giving you, in one complete video, the definitive Poppy Playtime timeline.
Let's go, baby! We're here. 100% blind reaction. You keep telling me that this is good. You keep telling me that this is good. I'm here for it. Lord Nuxanor is on the case.
The Poppy
I am here to eat ass and sniff feet, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into it.
Timeline. Poppy Playtime line. Poppy Playtime line. It feels like it does.
All right, bro. All right, guy. All right, you don't have to work so hard on an intro gag.
Doesn't work, but it works, technically. Saying. Hello, Internet.
Did he not? Why is he not doing the intro? What happened?
Welcome to Game Theory, the show.
Welcome to Game Theory. They think that I'm quitting because I actually want to move on with my life, but it's actually because I've given myself throat cancer by pronouncing lore the way that I do.
That'll stretch far and wide to find the lore. And while I'm busy doing that, why don't you give a big ol' huggy wuggy to that subscribe button? We're always doing videos like this to keep you guys up to date, and clearly it's necessary.
Hey, did you see what he did there? Why don't you give a kissy wissy to the subscribe button? It took me a minute to think of that. It took me a minute to think of that one. GG's! It's over! It's over!
I mean, Mob Games has gone a bit insane with the lore drops for this one. It's not quite FNAF levels of let's release 20 plus books with a single line of lore hidden in each one, but
Lame. I want lore through anal probe. I think that would be the new meta. They sell butt plugs, okay? Listen, hear me out. They sell butt plugs, and then when you put them in, they release some sort of chemical, all right? Then you have to figure out what the chemical is, and then you put that into the lore, and it unlocks this all. Think about it. Anal lore.
still, it's a lot.
Dude, why do video games, like, random... These are literally kids games, right? They're kids horror games, right? Unless I'm mistaken. Pretty sure these are children horror games. Why do they have to hide the lore through all this?
to have to keep track of. Outside of the 2 main chapter releases, we've had a spin-off title with 3 phases and 2 VHS tapes, 3
You must go to the closest Taco Bell. You must consume one of everything on the menu. Then, in your diarrhea shit splatter, you will see a message.
found footage YouTube videos, 2 ARGs with dozens of tiny scraps of lore, and a partridge in a pear tree. They even hid
Okay, that was a joke, I assume.
lore in their anniversary videos. Like, who does that? Who does that?
Bro, that's actually insane. They cooked! Okay, I know I'm making jokes about all this, about how they release lore in the stupidest ways, but I absolutely love that so much.
But while their methods might seem unorthodox, it does mean that there's a lot of lore and a lot of dates getting thrown around that are pretty difficult to keep track of, especially when all the story they've been seeding out happens decades before the actual games themselves.
Bruh.
So today, we're gonna be wiping the slate clean and starting over.
All right,
We're
let's
gonna be
see. I don't even know where to start. See, before I did my 100% blind reaction into Five Nights at Freddy's for a couple of hours that day, I released the video like probably 2 months ago. Everything changed. Everything changed. Like, I thought I knew what the game was about for the most part. You know, you had this guy, this purple dude, you got these animatronics eating children, you know, all that normal shit. But what I did not ever expect was the fact that there was such a crazy storyline throughout all of it. See, when it comes to Poppy Playtime, I literally know nothing aside from the monster, right? I know there's this monster, what that wants to vor you or something.
putting all the evidence together. Oh, the theories we've
Wait, what? Matpat made 10 videos on this? Oh my god!
had to create one cohesive timeline, so when Chapter 3 does release next month, we know exactly where we stand and what to expect. Strap on those grab packs, friends. It's time to lower ourselves into the depths of this haunted toy empire's history. The story
right,
begins
let's
not
go,
with any of the
baby.
games, but
Oh,
rather
so
with
is
Playtime.
it actually about a toy factory? All right, oh, dude, I literally, this is a completely blind reaction, and I will judge it accordingly. I have been completely fair with all of my different judgments of different lores of games. I go in with preconceived notion, and I will admit to you, Minecraft lore, actually kind of pog. Just saying. FNAF lore storyline, actually pretty epic. I'm just saying, I've been honest. I will be brutally honest, whether you like it or not. I've heard of Poppy Playtime, but I literally have no idea what it's about.
Website. On this now deleted webpage, we learn about the company's founder, Elliot Ludwig. He founded Playtime
Oh my god, Ludwig!
Co. in 1930 as a way to, quote, bring joy to children. He gave everything to his company. Let's
Dude, you know Vosh? Vosh wants to bring joy to children. I remember when Vosh said that it's possible to have a sexual relationship with children and it be beneficial for the children. End quote. He literally said that. That is a quote, allegedly. I don't remember exactly. I might have missed a few details, but I'm pretty sure he said that. So Vosh also likes doing that. Hello? Matpat video, what happened to you?
begins not with any of the games, but rather with Playtime Co.'s website. On this now deleted webpage, we learn about the company's founder, Elliot Ludwig. He founded Playtime Co. in 1930 as a way to, quote, bring joy to children.
By cheating in video games. Have you noticed that most of Ludwig's content is just cheating in video games? I've noticed, and it's pretty based.
Gave everything to his company, but sadly that work ethic would just wind up pushing his wife into divorce. Regardless, Elliot continued onward, determined to bring Playtime Co. to new heights, and according to the controversial NFT collection, in 1950 the company created the...
They didn't actually make an NFT collection, right? That's not actually canon. All right, bro left his wife. All right, everyone in chat, you haven't left your wives because you're alone. Like, let's be honest, you're not watching Nux content if you're not, like, incredibly alone. I mean, let's be honest. But okay, that's crazy. They actually made NFTs, that's nuts.
The toy that would put them on the map. In the most incredible doll video on YouTube announcing the game, we find our titular toy, Poppy Playtime. Elliot had outdone himself.
This is Poppy Playtime? This toy? That's what the name of the game is? His little toy?
Poppy wasn't just a lifeless doll, she could talk to you. She could even respond to questions.
Bro, it's just the amazing digital circus all over again.
You're an instant hit with children everywhere.
This is just AI girlfriends. This is why women are becoming obsolete. A lot of people don't want to talk about the obsolescence of women, which is happening as we speak. Every time we are talking, one more woman becomes obsolete. I wonder why I get canceled. And then I wonder why I get canceled, bro. Oh my god, dude. Listen, I didn't say it, all right? Listen, this is a quote from a woman, so therefore it is allowed. I'm just saying. She titled the video, "Are Women Obsolete?" So I'm just saying, in my defense, a woman said it first. Now, if that's not respecting women, I don't know what is. Nux just used a woman as a shield? Yeah! That's exactly what feminism is all about! God, finally people are opening their eyes.
She was also an instant hit with the parents, because her hair smelled just like her namesake of poppies. Flower that doesn't actually have much of a scent, but does contain opium, which was used throughout history and children's medication to relieve pain and help sleep. So you had this new toy that every child wanted, and then parents would suddenly find that their kids were much calmer and sleepier. These
Wow, that's actually fucked up.
toys started to fly off the shelves, and the company became a household name.
Wait, is this actually canon? This isn't even part of the theory, that these toys have like an opium scent in their hair so that the kids get a little drowsy so the parents love it? Dude, that's such fun. Dude, Nichi-sanji would absolutely sell this merch if they can get away with it. Bro, Nichi-sanji would 1 billion% sell this merch.
That said, not all poppies were created equally. All the regular poppy dolls were incredible feats of engineering, but one was at a different level. Her conversational skills were like having a conversation with an actual person.
Oh my god.
I didn't mean to scare you.
But that wasn't a coincidence.
Oh, you did! You did!
Because she was an actual person. Hidden in the game files is an unused ending monologue for Chapter 2, where Poppy reveals a lot more about her backstory. Specifically, this line right here.
Terrible things have happened, and I am the cause.
Bro, the terrible things are the obsolescence of women. The cause is AI girlfriend own a hole. Listen, society doesn't want to talk about it, but I will.
Being able to exist as a doll, it has killed so many people.
And when you combine that with the maintenance
Okay, that's scary.
VHS where we saw blood dripping off her voice box and those weirdly human-looking eyes of hers, it reveals that this Poppy was in fact a real person. Emphasis on was. Something happened to
Oh my god, bro. Why is every single child-based horror game with merch and theories and lore? Why is every single one of them children that become animatronics or become dolls? Like, what is with this soul-grabbing genre that's taken over lately? Dead kids are scary. Dead kids are so scary!
And I think we have a pretty good idea of what. It all comes back around to Elliot in the next decade of the timeline, the 1960s.
In the 1960s, an unfortunate family death had pushed Ludwig down to his lowest.
No! It's his daughter, and he turned his daughter into a doll to make money. Bro, this is just fucking Five Nights at Freddy's all over again. You wish it was just FNAF, it gets so much darker? Okay, okay!
This family loss started it all, and I believe that this was the person who became Poppy, the first of what would be many others. But Elliot didn't have any family that we know of. His wife divorced him 3 decades ago, and any children that he'd have had with her would be in their 30s at this point. That's
Dude, Ludwig quit streaming. Why? Well, he sacrificed his daughter to Satan, put its soul in a doll to make money off the opium in its hair. Sounds like Ludwig.
why the prevailing theory is that Elliot had a young adopted daughter. He wanted to bring joy to children, to the point that he would encourage his employees to also adopt, even going so far as to build an orphanage on factory grounds.
That is scary as fuck. Building an orphanage? Based. Adopting children? Incredibly based. Building an orphanage on factory grounds where you're testing out new toys, where you're putting opium in the hair? Bro, what the fuck? This is insane literally anywhere except for Ohio.
That is why it is with enormous pleasure that I announce Playtime, our very own on-site orphanage.
Adoption and loving children was clearly on his mind, so the idea of him adopting a young orphan feels like a natural first step. And given that she was the only family that he had, her dying would be even more devastating to him, so he didn't let her die. Elliot took his dying daughter and preserved her inside a Poppy Playtime doll. In the most recent ARG, we've started receiving documents that discuss using organic parts, which
This literally is Five Nights at Freddy's. Why are you telling me that this is so much darker? This is the same thing, except matpat put an eyeball on the screen.
would explain why Poppy's eyes look so real and why she has blood covering her voice box. Those
What the frick? Oh, huh?
were her real eyes. That was her real blood, used in a last-ditch effort to save the daughter. And shockingly, it worked. Poppy came to life. His
What?
beloved daughter returned to him. He locked her away in a room of the factory that was designed to
His beloved daughter returned to him. He locked her away! Alright, sounds about right.
remind them of their family home, far away from everyone else, preserved in a glass box, where he could visit her and keep her safe from anything else that might happen. Over the next couple of decades, the company hires more staff, like Leith Pierre as the head
Oh god! Leith Pierre? That is an awful name.
of innovation. They also release all sorts of popular toys,
Head of innovation. Alright, your job is to use the children that we're saving and adopting as food for our toys that we're selling. Let's be innovative. Just reaching into my bag of cookies and human body parts. Pardon me.
like Brawn the Dinosaur, Boxy Boo, Candy Cat, and of course, the company's next massive hit, the Blue
Huggy Wuggy! Bro, I've seen so much Rule 34 of this man.
Boy himself, Huggy Wuggy, followed quickly by Kissy Missy, because every Ken needs a Barbie.
There really is a Kissy Missy? I was just joking!
Poppy has a great day every day. But Ken only has a great day if Barbie looks at him.
Despite that
Why would he play that clip there? What the hell was that clip? Why'd he put that there?
popularity, the company struggles to remain afloat.
When I look at this company we've built, I do not feel proud.
I do. I am proud of the children we've tortured.
Declining profits, failed experiments. People are constantly seeing things they shouldn't. How is that anything less than complete failure on our part? It's pathetic.
Those, dear theorists, are the words of Harley Sawyer.
I'm called the Doctor.
And he isn't just bringing up problems, he's also the man with the solution.
I'm here now with a solution. The Bigger Bodies Initiative. Giant toys.
Giant toys. You're used to being able to put your dick in toys, but what about getting a toy that can vor you? Like, how is this dude gonna explain coming up with this idea? Giant toys? Brother, dude's gonna just sit there. So I was playing at this gig, and for some fucking reason, this Virtue chick was digging at the drummer, and I was like, do you know who I am? I'm fucking Adam. I'm the original dick. All dicks descend from me. You think you want the drummer dick? No way. I'm the dick fucking master. So anyway, then we fucked. It was awesome. Giant toys.
We can increase our workforce and simultaneously decrease the number of lawsuits and people on our payroll.
How does that make any sense?
If the people we have working aren't people.
And the idea...
What?
idea is all thanks to the one living toy that told us she started it all, Poppy.
God.
This leads us to the early 90s when the Doctor's plan is in full swing. It's here where we join him trying to recreate the magic that is Poppy, studying her in her little safe glass case.
Bro, oh my god, they all know about this? This is public knowledge for the higher-ups at this company? They're all just casually sitting there? What?
To figure out how Elliot's daughter was able to continue living inside the doll. There are hundreds of experiments, one of which we see a report
Bro, you know, the dude just goes in, he looks at the Poppy doll, and he's like, you really think I wouldn't recognize one of my top girls just because she's out of uniform? You were on the front lines. I wouldn't forget a bad bitch like you. It's why I named you after the best thing ever, opium.
Of on Elliot's desk in Chapter 2, Experiment 814. Based on the handwriting of this and several other notes, this appears to be a report written by the Doctor himself. And by this...
Dude, I love matpat. I love matpat. He's like, yes, the handwriting matches this and that, so it must be.
At this point, it's pretty darn clear what element of Poppy he's focused on. Quote, the experiment utilized a live rat. Rat was fed 3 portions daily for 2 weeks. At the end of the 2 weeks, the rat was killed and submerged into a poppy flower preservative gel mixture.
What? Huh? Wait, why?
1 week later, an electric shock was applied to the rat in an attempt to revive it. The rat remained unresponsive.
Oh, yeah, that must suck for you.
The Doctor suspects that poppy flowers and living parts are the 2 key factors to creating more living toys, but his experiments still wind up in failure. That said, the Doctor seems to have an idea as to why. Quote again, I still believe in the potential of the poppy flower. Perhaps something larger than a rat would yield different results.
Oh my god, they don't actually try this on people, right? Like, there's no way. Oh my god, dude, that's crazy.
And in Chapter 2, Mommy Longlegs reveals exactly what he meant by that.
It was always so sad to see the kids go.
Okay, that's fucking scary as shit. Well, remember when I totally told you earlier that installing an orphanage in some massive corporation's headquarters is unethical and probably creepy? Well, it was always sad seeing the kids go.
They called me Mommy because I was the closest thing they ever had to one.
Wait, what? Wait, what? Was this the oldest of the children in the orphanage, or holy fucking shitballs? Am I seeing who I think I'm seeing?
But they come for games and never come back.
What's the difference between Experiment 814 and Poppy? Poppy wasn't a rat. She was a human, a child, an orphan. Orphans have no parents, which means if they go missing, there's no missing persons report, no investigations, because who would miss them? It was the perfect crime.
The perfect crime. Adopting orphans and doing human experimentation. How could anyone figure that out? The perfect crime. Never before have I seen a crime so well thought out and optimized. Yes. Orphan murder. We could get away with that any day.
Perfect answer to the Doctor's experiment. To facilitate the
orphans have no parents. Bro, this is like some evil villain shit. It's like, how can you have done this to all of those children? Did you think you would get away with it? You fool. You see, orphans have no parents. got him.
The company creates Playcare, Playtime's own on-site orphanage, as well as the Game Station, a facility designed to test and improve the skills of the orphan children. In Chapter 2,
why does he want to improve the skills of the orphan children? This is just Promised Neverland, except less cannibalism.
we see reports that show us the improvement of one specific child's skills, and in those reports, we see that they've been assigned a toy that they'll soon become. It's at this
Fuck, that's so messed up. Wait, so this whole game is just spawn camping children, adopting them, taking them into this place, and then killing them, turning them into toys, so that they could basically save money, so that they could make money and save some money. They don't need to, they could cut out the middleman. They don't need to hire people. Oh, this is terrifying. This is dark as hell. This is literally just, it's part of the business. This is like the most cursed business idea I've ever seen in my life.
point that the Bigger Bodies Initiative has a breakthrough. Using pieces of organic parts and machinery, they're able to create a prototype of what they wish to create. Experiment 1006.
The prototype seems to possess an unprecedented level of intelligence, beyond that of all other test subjects.
What, just a hand? So he could jerk himself off well? Like,
as well as an alarming willingness to commit violence.
The tape goes on to describe.
why does he say that in such a good way? They're not making soldiers, they're making toys. I'm feeling like there's some kind of weird disconnect. There's like a weird disconnect here between why they're doing this and what they're doing. Again, I don't know. We'll still learn. We'll still see.
Describe Huggy Wuggy, experiment 1170, as fully obedient, which led me to believe that there was something different about 1006. For him to be more intelligent means that he must have stronger cognitive function than the orphans. Children are easier to control. You can tell him what to do because you're an adult, an authority figure. But what if 1006 was a fellow adult? That might make it
Whoa! Oh my god, there's no way.
harder to control.
How can they get away with this shit? So look at that design. The bone mixed with the fucking hand. Like, frick, that's scary.
Especially if there's someone with supreme intellect and creative building skills.
The prototype seemingly disassembled the digital alarm clock within his room.
Oh my god.
And utilized the battery, along with several other components, to create a laser pointer.
Oh my god, it's Pickle Rick! This hand is just Pickle Rick!
Which he then fired into the security camera, disabling it.
That's crazy. What the fuck?
Who's an adult in this franchise that we know has the genius and creativity to make some of the most
not the original guy.
beloved toys in the
or the doctor
world? None other than Elliot Ludwig.
Oh my god, Ludwig is back!
No, initially I theorized that he became 1006 because he was an adult who loved and cared for orphans. And so when he discovered that the doctor was using him for his experiments, he went to shut the whole thing down, only for the doctor to silence him. That's why 1006 is so aggressive towards the scientists in the tapes.
Wow, that is fucking smart as shit. That's a good-ass theory. So here's the thing. Ludwig, he was some dude, he loved toys, he gets divorced, he adopts a kid. Because he genuinely likes children. I mean, in the wholesome way. He makes an orphanage, he's making toys, his daughter dies, and to save his daughter, he somehow manages to put her life into some doll, some poppy doll, okay? Now, this doctor guy recognizes the fact that he can make crazy fucking bank by just murdering children and putting their lifeblood and souls into toys. When Ludwig figures out that the doctor was doing all of this, the doctor uses Ludwig's information to turn Ludwig into one of these toys as well. And he turns him into the prototype. That is fucking dark. So Ludwig actually was just the good guy. Oh my god, dude. This is some Frankenstein shit. This is good. I'm glad that it turned out that Ludwig didn't end up being evil like Purple Guy or whatever from FNAF. Shit, dude, that's crazy.
And why he'd later lead the charge in an uprising against Playtime Co. that he would call the Hour of Joy, reminiscent of what he always
scary
wanted to achieve, bringing joy to children.
Though still missing, today's events are no doubt in relation to him.
But here's the problem. Since that theory, there's been a few pieces of evidence that tell us that Elliot was fully aware of the experiments happening on the orphans.
Okay, so maybe Elliot wasn't actually a good guy, all right? Ludwig was an asshole all along. Man was doing whatever he needed to do for the content, okay? Man made good freaking content. Editor, I'm talking about a child murderer, Elliot Ludwig. Can you please put a picture of the streamer Ludwig on stream? No relation. But anyway, he would do anything for the content. I don't think he would go that far to start killing children, though. And that's probably when the doctor deceived him.
There's an email that appeared in the most recent ARG written by Elliot that says, quote, one of those dang huggy wuggies is loose. For it to get loose, it has to be alive, meaning a child had to have been converted into a version of Huggy. This email would also disprove Elliot as being 1006 because Huggy Wuggy is experiment 1170.
Okay, interesting.
And if these people have any respect for the scientific process, 1170 should come after 1006.
Did he just explain to us that the number 1170 is bigger than 1006 or whatever?
That said, that email has actually been redacted by Mob Games. It's no longer available in the ARG.
Wait, is it not canon? Did they remove it from the canon because it actually did contradict the timeline?
Reason? I suspect it's the date. It's labeled June 23rd, 1981. You see, Huggy Wuggy the toy wasn't even created until 1984, 3 years after that.
It's what they call a fuck-uppery
date. In his description in Project Playtime, it specifically calls out that he's, quote, a living giant version of the famous Playtime Co. toy. So giant Huggy couldn't exist.
Yo, why is he so scary? What's with all the teeth, bro?
In 1981, if the toy he's based on didn't exist in 1981. Looks like the timeline's getting tricky to keep track of, even for the creators of the timeline. But while the evidence may not have panned out, I still think we can say that Elliot was fully aware of what was going on. We hear Elliot Ludwig opening the Playcare in the teaser for Chapter 3.
We owe everything to these children. This company and its toys are nothing without them.
We appreciate your sacrifices. We owe you everything! Proceeds to kill them.
That is why it is with enormous pleasure that as the founder of Playtime Co., I announce Playcare, our very own on-site orphanage.
Dude, that is the biggest red flag in the universe. No toy maker should have access to an orphanage. I'm just saying. It just can't be ethical. Like, brother.
Did you hear that? We owe everything to these children. That to me sounds like someone who knows exactly what's about to happen to these kids. It's classic hiding the truth in plain sight kind of language. That being said, it wouldn't be so fast to say that my theory of Elliot being the prototype is totally debunked yet either. Well, this shows that he was fully aware of the experiments and therefore wouldn't have been angry with the doctor and what he was doing. It also doesn't stop him from being turned into the prototype. Consider this. We don't know how old Elliot...
Agreed. I'm saying it's possible. I don't know. So Elliot's obviously an evil little fucker. Dude, there's no way, bro. Why is it the purple guy stigma all over again? Come on, man.
Elliot is at any given point in the story. The best we have to go off of is that he was married at some point in the 1920s and divorced in 1930. The average age of a man.
Dude, I'm here before what's his name? Before Verbalace pays $50,000 to get eaten by Huggy Wuggy in a fucking animation.
And getting married in the 1920s was around 25. So let's say
that
he'd been married a few years before divorcing and was now around 28 in 1930. That would mean that by 1990, Elliot would be around 88. So pretty old, but still kicking. So what if, rather than being
Oh my god, this is a Walt Disney situation. He goes out there, he's an evil little shit, and he's old as fuck. And this is his version of immortality, living forever as the prototype.
Rid of and forced into the experiment, he was a willing participant in that experiment. We see in the VHS video restricted restoration that Playtime is okay with using adults, and specifically adults who are close to death. In Project Playtime's Phase 2 update, we hear the doctor say this:
mortality is the curse of the weak.
Which lines up pretty well with the Chapter 2 death screen, May We Forget Death. Being in his late 80s, Elliot may have seen the writing on the wall.
Bro, literally, this is his immortality. That's crazy.
Playcare was still being set up, he decided to offer himself to the experiment to prove the concept, to help him live forever and to continue seeing Playtime Co. thrive. But
that's wild. That is so wild. Oh my god.
It's something...
You have to see Bendy and the Ink Machine lore after this. I have no experience with Bendy and the Ink Machine, so... maybe leave a like, I guess.
Happens that neither him nor the doctor expected. You see, there's an adult that's turned into brawn, known as experiment 1199, and a key factor is that he isn't able to remember who he is or what happened to him. Whereas the other converted toys, the ones made from children, they seem to be able to remember at least something of who they were. They recognize that this character isn't a tortured child like them, and so they attack him. But if...
Yo, wild, okay.
That's exactly what happened to 1006. An adult brain might just be unable to truly keep all its memories. Elliot doesn't remember exactly who he is. He's essentially back to his base mindset and instincts, and using his intellect, he's able to put together the pieces, seeing the pain of all the children as they were converted, leading him to lash out and become the evil mastermind that we know today.
I actually like that theory. That's actually a good theory. Big brain, good theory. So he lost his humanity at the end, and now he's just kind of an object that hates what he used to be. Because any normal, ethical person would hate what he's done. That's crazy.
Despite all the violence and murder, the prototype is essentially a success.
What do you mean, despite? The violence and murder is based. If they could do this on purpose, that would be awesome.
The concept of bringing inanimate objects to life using the life of another worked, and so they pressed.
That's crazy. It's crazy that it is the same plot as freaking FNAF. Come on, man.
On with the Bigger Bodies initiative, with their first major success coming in the form of an old toy from 1966, Boxy Boo.
They said it was impossible, yet you defied all odds. The first of many. Naturally, you have proven my Bigger Bodies initiative a success.
And just in time, too. The doctor always wanted these bigger bodies to fulfill jobs around the factory, and there was a very specific job that he needed resolved and fast.
Now, we need to start tailoring that appetite of yours to flesh.
Okay, they're really on the nose. Like, they're... They are not hiding this at all. This is like, it's putting all the goobery in plain sight. My God.
Where to start? Get me an update on the situation.
Rowan Stoll was the IT guy for Playtime Co., and for a long time, that's all he was. In 1988, he fixed the puzzle pillars, those minigame towers that you find in Project Playtime, and in 1990...
Wait, there are Twitter accounts for all the different characters in the game? Archive post 88? That is crazy! That's so smart. Oh my God.
He fixed the phone service provider. Nothing major. That was until he started to notice something in early 1991.
Look, I know you don't want to hear any more about this.
I don't. British accent? Get the fuck out. No, I'm joking. British accents are nice.
I get it. Sounds like a bad joke, huggy wuggy staring at children. If some creep is hiding nanny cams in our mascot's eyeballs, then it's something that needs to be taken seriously.
What Rowan was seeing wasn't nanny cams. It was the latest of the Bigger Bodies initiative.
Oh my God, he was not seeing nanny cams. He was seeing real children's eyes that are put into... Oh my God, oh my God.
170, and he was watching kids. That was his job. He was the newest security hire.
Well, we pride ourselves.
Because again, you have to realize this is all about the finance. Yeah, the murdering children is all fun and all. Oh, it's all cute and fun. Okay. Yeah, nothing like a bit of child murder here and again to whet your appetite or whatever the fuck these sickos like. But this is not about that at all. This is all just about the money. This is all just about making money. You don't need employees, bro. You don't need employees. You don't need to pay a toy. Bro, this is just Niji-sanji all over again.
Primarily on our high-quality toys and excellent child care, we also pride ourselves on our security.
Naturally, Playtime Co. wasn't a fan of Rowan figuring this out, and so they shut him down.
I just want to apologize. I was wrong.
But intimidation wasn't enough. Rowan kept digging. He was an IT guy after all, so he began to build an FTP.
Dude, it's so cool that they made this an ARG. What the frick?
Server with all the information that he'd gathered, even after they sabotaged his car to try and make it seem like it was an accident.
They've been using all the money they've made to experiment on people. I have proof of it all. While security is out, I'm gonna release everything and run.
But Playtime Co. couldn't allow that. The doctor couldn't allow that. And this is where Boxy Boo came in. When Rowan went to investigate, Boxy was waiting.
My
when the moment was
I can't believe they made this an ARG. It's so cool. They did such a good job with this. Oh my, it's so scary.
Right, sprung out and swallowed him whole.
Oh fuck, wow.
This wouldn't be the fate for all employees who defied Playtime Co. In the most recent ARG, we've received an email from the head of security about a dead staff member with puncture wounds in his abdomen.
Okay, that's a new one. That's not what happened to him.
Likely hidden for weeks before being found. This seems to be referencing Rowan, who, even after death, continued to be a nuisance. Now they need...
Okay, whatever that means.
Needed some sort of cover-up.
Bro got vored and is still kicking.
Story for the police. So going forward, the doctor would correct his mistake. He would try a different approach. One that would make bad employees disappear permanently.
Oh my fucking God, dude. I don't need to give you severance pay if you're disappeared permanently. Bro, Niji-sanji wishes they had this shit. Oh my God, this is like, dude, you have all these kids out here losing their mind, getting scared of this game, all right? You got the wacky teenagers that are going on alternate websites to find alternate artistic versions of all this. And then, bro, dude, guy, homie, then you have the mega corporation leaders. You have the CEO of Niji-sanji just firing them with, making them gone for good. Oh, yes. Is that a little on the nose? A little on the nose, a little telling, a little relevant info?
In that final FTP dump from Rowan, we got a disciplinary notice for Patty Hall. This name has only come up once before, as an employee who sabotaged the paint machines, causing toys to be recalled and the company to lose profits.
Why would she do that? Okay.
You see that for her disciplinary action, she was sent to Storage B by none other than the doctor. And the next time we see Storage B is in the restricted relocation video from 1995. A room filled with bloodied and dead toys, except for a giant kissy missy in the middle of the room. In that final FTP dump, Rowan specifically calls out that people are being experimented on. And then we find Patty Hall being sent to the place where we see a Bigger Bodies initiative.
Well, yeah, that's on the nose. She plays a practical joke and they're like, okay, they murder her and then they put her soul into a giant toy to serve them for eternity without question. Dude, this game makes redo of Healer look like paradise. Oh my lord. Brother, that's insane.
Experiment. Coincidence? I think not. I think this was the fate of Patty Hall. She defied Playtime Co. and the doctor, and so he turned her into Kissy Missy, where there would be no more trace of her for police.
That's actually insane. That's actually insane. You prank the company and then they're just like, oh sure, no problem. Well, we'll just use you for this.
Not all these experiments were complete successes, though. In a report from the newest ARG, we learn of experiments 1186 and 1187. And while we don't know exactly what went wrong, we do know that there were, quote, shortcomings. So it may not be that there are almost 200 living toys active in the factory, but
it gets so much worse? How can you keep saying that, Chad?
Rather that there were around 200 attempts, some of which were successful like Huggy Wuggy, and others that were less so. Regardless, that is a lot of victims. And given that Rowan's report started in early 1991, and the latest experiment number we have is 1222 for Mommy Longlegs, who was invented before her toy was released in 1991. It means that all of this happened in a single year, 1991. You gotta appreciate the efficiency of these guys. And so they needed to develop a more effective way to infuse the orphans they'd acquired with the poppy mixture that was vital to the transformation process. So they invented something that we've seen throughout the teasers for Chapter 3, poppy gas. Like I mentioned.
Oh my god. Apparently Chapter 3 is even crazier than this. 10,000 likes and I'll do Chapter 3 lore deep dive.
Earlier, poppies have been used throughout history to help kids sleep. And so converting it into a gas is the perfect way to not only get poppies into their bloodstream, but also to sedate them, get them to listen, obey, to sleep. Now,
That's crazy. Anyone that disobeys them, they just turn into a slave. Turn into a toy slave where their body will never be found.
Not putting up any kind of fight. All you gotta do is give your staff members fun gas masks, like the Mickey Mouse masks from World War II, colored in Playtime Co.'s signature red and yellow so they appear less scary to kids. But they still needed a delivery method, a way to administer the gas to the kids. And this is where the newest ARG once again comes in with the answer. We've received a couple of reports from staff members of the Playcare that tell us a little bit more about the operation that was going on there. The one child that keeps coming up in multiple reports is Theodore Gramble, who apparently was caught sneaking around the Playcare looking for files that a quote-unquote friend told him to find.
Bro, what?
Quote from the report. I don't know his name. Nobody else knows he exists.
Bro, this is just Amazon Workers, the documentary.
Naturally, the counselor's suspicious of this, as the requests for files seem way too specific to be made by just a 7-year-old. A mysterious figure hiding in the shadows that kids don't know exist and is looking for files about the inner workings of Playcare? Sounds to me like Theodore is getting a visit from 1006.
Oh my god, bro, it's so scary. It's so scary. Freaking hell, bro. Shit, this is like, it's actually scary. I didn't think that this would actually be like a crazy story like this.
And that's exactly what's happening. Literally, as I'm writing this episode, we got another load of images from the ARG, and one of them is a drawing of Theodore sitting on his bed with a familiar black arm reaching out from under it. The prototype is using Theodore to try and stop the entire operation, to free the kids. But sadly, Theodore doesn't work out quite as intended. According to a transcript, he tried to escape, but something malfunctioned and he got electrocuted, stopping his heart and badly burning him. Fortunately, and unfortunately,
he was able to be saved. Transformed into a toy.
There's a way to save him.
Oh my god, it's horrible. It's literally horrible. There's no good endings here.
At the same time all this was going on, Playtime was developing experiment 1188, based on one of their newest toy lines, the Smiling Critters, specifically the purple cat, Catnap.
That is a scary cat.
Experiment would have massive claws, be able to change its size, and be fitted with, quote, a gas delivery apparatus at the back of the esophagus. This toy was going to be the perfect way to administer the poppy gas to the kids at the Playcare.
Wow. That's crazy. The kid that wants to save kids almost dies, so they turn him into the toy, the very toy that will cause the deaths of all of these children. That is ironic horror. It gets worse? How does it get worse? How does it get worse? This is horrible. How?
administer the poppy gas to the kids at the play care. They just hug and play with their new favorite toy while it slowly released its hallucinogenic gas.
Insane.
And right at the bottom of the document, on the name of potential candidates for conversion, who do we find? None other than Theodore. He had a horrible accident, maybe even close to death, so they gave him eternal life by turning him into the new villain for Chapter 3. In the Chapter 3 teaser, we see...
That's crazy. That's actually insane. It's actually wild. This is such a dark story. This is so much darker than FNAF. Oh my god. I mean, obviously this was inspired by FNAF, but it is so much darker. And the presentation is so much better.
Phrases like, "The original saved me, I rejoice in him," which are heavily implied to have been written by Catnap. He worships the original creation. He wishes to do nothing but serve him. Sound familiar? It's just like how the prototype, the original creation, spoke to Theodore, asking him to do things like finding files. Theodore and his new gas powers were put to good use by Playtime Co. No child would ever step out of line like he did again. We see drawings from children.
Yeah, because all of them are sedated. They're all living a drugged up existence.
About their new giant purple friend, but not all of them are happy. Some kids seem to have nightmares thanks to the red gas that comes out of their new friend's mouth. The worst case that we see is that of Marie Payne, whose sedation thanks to the poppy gas is so severe that she can't even wake up from the nightmares anymore. But
well, yeah, she's drugged. Oh my god, dude, this is horror. This is a horror. Look at this house. This house that they're in. Oh my god. It's just breeding them. It's just fattening them up to the slaughter.
But while the employees caring for her seem concerned, clearly Playtime Co. got exactly what they wanted. On a transfer request we find in the water treatment control room of Chapter 2, we see the name of the child that would eventually become Mommy Longlegs, Marie Payne.
God, and when the sedation is too much, when the sedation is too far and goes too much to the point that they can't even wake up from their sleep, that is when the time is ready to kill them, to butcher them, to slaughter them, and turn them into an immortal, unquestioning, unfeeling slave. This is awful. Oh my god.
Mommy was eventually moved to the game station.
Poppy Playtime. Dude, every time I hear that name, I always thought it was like such a stupid name for a horror. Poppy Playtime. They're just giving these little children just playing around with a toy, poppy gas, to drug them, put them to sleep, and kill them. And worse.
Mainly because her trauma at the hands of Playtime led her to be violent towards adults, but motherly and caring towards the children, which made her the perfect fit. Mommy is the last experiment that we know of at this time, experiment 1222, but I suspect that there are many more based on this photo that we got in the lead up to Chapter 2's release.
Oh my god, they're all dead.
Company in its heyday, May of 1992, a year after Mommy Longlegs' creation. But there's still plenty of kids playing around at the game station. More kids to be trained up and taken to play care for sedation and conversion. But
conversion.
This is where the tides turn for Playtime Co.
Okay. Okay, all right. Please, good news,
Huggy
please.
Wuggy escapes the
Get rid
facility
of these
in the first of many incidents where the bigger bodies monsters start rebelling against the company under the command of 1006.
Let's go. Let's go!
This would come to a climax in 1995 with an event known as the Hour of Joy.
Okay, my chat has been spamming Hour of Joy. Oh my god, it is so time. Oh, chills.
A combined effort of all the toys united against the Playtime Co. staff. So far, all we've seen of this event is an analog video of Kissy Missy going missing with blood splatter and claw marks everywhere, but we know it doesn't just involve her. In the background of the tape, we can hear screaming from staff members in the factory. The same screams that are heard in the back of the final VHS tape from Chapter 1.
Coordination and cooperation is evidently within his skill set, as well as the skill set of all other experiments of his type, though still missing. Today's events are no doubt in relation to him.
1006 orchestrated the entire event.
Fuck, dude, that's so crazy. Yo, chat, this is wild. I cannot believe what's going on here. I can't believe this is an actual story that's written, and this is literally a kid's game. It's literally a kid's game. Parents are like, oh, kids horror game, and then it's like this whole weird conversion plot. Crunked up, thank you for hopping into the stream. Bro, what? It's time, boss. The hour of joy has arrived. Repent, sinners.
Hour of Joy, bringing joy and freedom to the children that he failed all those years ago.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
With the Playtime staff now either entirely killed or kicked out of the facility, business essentially stops.
Boo! Boo! This is the post-nut clarity after doing the most unethical shit imaginable. You got your average CEO, he's sitting there, he's like, yo, I have come up with the most unethical idea ever to make production go great. Everything goes great for a little bit, things are going well, and boom. And everything collapses because, yeah, you were an unethical piece of shit and your karma's come for you. Karma has come. That's why I just sit here and smile, bro. You're not fully clothed without a smile.
However, the company tried to remain open in an unusual way. The spin-off title Project Playtime has us take control of extraction specialists, gathering toy parts to be extracted and turned into parts of the Bigger Bodies initiative.
Here's the job. You need to collect toy parts to make a giant toy. Get that giant toy on the train, then leave.
At this point,
it's crazy, and you know what the toys actually are. You're playing this game.
In history, the Bigger Bodies toys are running the factory and hunting us down, trying to feed the many toys that remain, while also stopping us from making more monstrosities like themselves.
They are trying to build more toys.
Dude, and it's talking about children toys, which is so wholesome and cute, and it's just the absolute antithesis of all that. What a fantastic aesthetic.
More like you. It has to be stopped.
It's not entirely clear how this part of the timeline ends. The game's still releasing phases with new VHS tapes and secret messages from 1006, all with the theme of, hey, we're the ones to blame for this.
We wonder who we are, but why? You should know. It was your doing that made us. Oh, we said.
You're the consumer, baby. It was your doing that made us, because you are the goddamn consumer. Do you know why they were unethical? They were killing children to increase production, to make more toys. Because you're buying them. Dude, what a crazy message at the end. Oh my god.
That.
Which leads us all to today and the main game. You know, the game that we actually play. 10 years after the factory closed, we show up. A former employee determined to make things right.
But you worked here.
Oh my god. So this whole lore that we just went through until now, this is all the backstory before the first game. Yo, crazy.
Regular employees like Rowan weren't aware of what was going on, so for Mommy to know us, we had to have been working at the game station, running experiments on these kids. We were
Oh, never mind. It's not you, the main character of the game. I guess there's a double entendre there. You are the main bad guy because you're the consumer, but at the same time, you are the main character in this story, playing a game trying to repent for your sins. This story is the story arc of General Pensius, who went from sinner to winner. This is the guy, you as the main character are the one that used to work there and kill these children. You killed these children. Oh my god. And then you join this game and you're playing it trying to have everything work out, but only to repent from your sins. That's awful. Dude, literal chills.
Some form of an executive here. Supporting this theory is the fact that there are 5 executive slides down to the game station in Chapter 2. We know all 4 of these characters. And the last one, well, the last one's missing a name. I believe that was our slide.
That is you, baby. That's you.
If you take the letters on the floor and rearrange them, you don't really get any sort of clear-cut name. In a previous episode, I landed on Jamie B. Honey, only to realize after the fact that I'd accidentally swapped an A for an E. Plus, if you look closely, there are spaces for 5 letters on top and 6 letters on the bottom. The best I can come up with based on those new criteria is Ebony Jemiah. It's not great, so clear.
Maybe.
Clearly it's still up for grabs. Regardless, I still maintain that we were the head of production for Playtime, the only department on this Chapter 2 floor that's left unaccounted for, with Eddie being the head of research, Stella being the head of play, and Leith Pierre being the head of innovation. We were directly involved in the production of these toys, and so we've come back to undo the sins of the past, or probably more likely, to bury them once and for all.
That's wild, and that's ultimately what this is all about. You've sinned, you've done bad, and now you bury the monsters you created. You finally let these children rest. It's such a dark story. That is such a dark story.
We show up, we knock out Huggy, we free Poppy from her case, we split Mommy in 2 and get her dragged away by 1006, escaping the game station only for something to derail us outside of Playcare. And there you have it, folks, the complete timeline of Poppy Playtime so far.
That was crazy. That was insane. 10,000 likes and I will be doing the deep dive into Chapter 3. I hear it's even crazier.
Almost entirely based on fact with...
Just wait for the hour of joy, bro. Oh my god, how am I gonna hold myself back?
A couple of theories thrown in there that are very well supported at this point. How will Chapter 3 affect all this? Will we see Theodore the cat? Will the smiling critters be able to be saved, or is it too late for them? We're only a few weeks away, so time will tell. In the meantime, remember, it's not a good idea to use science to create living toys out of orphans.
Or murdering children, or child trafficking, or sex trafficking, or murder in general. Or, you know, human experimentation, or scientific modulation, or abducting children through unethical practices, or making fun of women.
But it is a good idea to use science to get you to drink.
Those are, by the way, those are not all on the same level. Just one of those things is not as bad as the rest. I'm just saying. If you had to pick one.
More water, and there's no one who does that better than our sponsor for today's episode, Era. These guys.
Yo, good video, matpat. I am glad we did this. I am so happy we did this deep dive. Frick, that was insane. Hello, purple female. That was crazy. What a great video. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.